what we do want to get started with today is essentially provide some advice in terms of how to help your agency win a Sourcr Award in this market. And what we will do is we will start this off with some slides that we've gathered and prepared. If you did join our webinar yesterday, which was recruiter focused, please note that the slides are the same. The content is different, as is the guest. Now, the way we will do this essentially is I will go through some of the slides. Please, if you've got any questions, keep them coming in the chat box. We are monitoring it and we will answer your questions accordingly as well. Now, with Susie, the way it's looking at this point in time, our guest, it seems to be that we are not able to invite her onto the stage to have a conversation with her. So I'm just going to have to run this myself, and we will record an interview with Susie and share this across with everyone afterwards. So to get started, let's have a look at what we want to do here. We want to look at the way Sourcr can help the agencies at this point in time, especially with the way things are going in terms of, how we're shifting our focus from a candidate-short market to a jobs-led market. Why is personal reputation important at this point in time? Why is agency reputation so important in this point in time to make sure that you are ahead of your competition? So one of the things that we are going to be looking at, firstly in here, is essentially we're going to set the landscape in here right now. Now, first, formally get started, we would like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which I live and work, the Camaragal land, and pay respects to their elders, past and present. We also extend those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. Now, kicking it off, we are so excited once again to be launching the campaign for the 2023 Sourcr Awards, and we wanted to speak to some market leaders to find out what they're doing. Now, as I just mentioned earlier, due to some unfortunate technical difficulties, we are not able to get our guests to come on to this webinar at this point in time. So I do apologize for that, but I hope that you gain some insights based on the conversation that I have essentially with all of you today to find out what we are doing and what you can do in this market. So one of the things that I do want to look at to get started is essentially setting the scene about what is happening currently in terms of unemployment rate in Australia, job ads, and applications per ad as well. So the slide that you see right now on the screen, it just shows you how the unemployment rate in Australia has been tracking pretty much from December 2018 to December 2023. You would see that it spiked the most during COVID, which is around July 2020. It was at 7.5%. And concurrently, we also saw a huge spike in the applications per ad as well. This is not a surprise to anyone, given that, we all went through the last 3 years of just a very strange and unique time in our lives and also in the unemployment trends. So what we can see, unemployment rate and the job application per ad, they are moving in the same manner. So they're spiking at the same time. Concurrently, we have March 2020 is also when the job ads saw a severe decline as well, which makes sense. We all went through it. We all saw that. Now, if we were to focus on what is happening afterwards, we had the great jobs boom, and now we're in the soft landing period, which is stabilizing. So while there are talks of unemployment rates rising in Australia and an anticipation of a recession, all the forecasters agree that unemployment rate will still remain below its pre-COVID level, which is a great news for all of us. Now, if we go on to the next slide that we have available that's here, this is some information around how the job ads are down and applications per ad is up in every single industry. So we can see here that as the conditions aren't as dire as the media is saying, there are some really strong indicators that the market in 2023 will be jobs-led. I'm sure this is something that you're likely already experiencing in your work life. Now you can see here that from May 2022 to Jan-Feb 2023, workforce conditions have significantly changed. So this includes a consistent increase in applications per ad in every industry, as well as a consistent decrease in job ads across industries. So while we're already seeing this take place, this trend will continue to grow over the next 6 months, which is why it's crucial for agencies and recruiters to invest in their online reputation with particular focus on client retention and attraction. So, what does this mean for recruitment? It just means that your brand reputation is more important than ever. Recruiter and agency competition is going to be at its peak in late 2023. And of course, social proof and third-party recognition will be crucial to your success. So keeping that in mind, that is the end of the slides that we've got in here. Now, if you have any questions around the way this will change for you, any advice that you want from us, or you want to find out how to win a Sourcr Award for your agency, please keep your questions coming and we will start answering them shortly. Well, we have a surprise for you because Susie has been able to join this webinar, and I'm going to stop sharing the slides now. Let me do a quick introduction of Susie. We are joined by Susie Rogers from Russia Rogers. Over the past 25 years, Susie has established herself as one of the most informed and impassioned of the thousands of specialists offering advice in her field. Her business, Russia Rogers, has helped hundreds of organizations find the right people to launch successful new projects in competitive high-growth sectors, from NFP to arts and health/fintech, legal to HR and marketing. From long-term workforce planning and integrated HR strategies to sourcing and securing specialist managers and whip-smart subject matter experts, Susie has become a trusted partner and advisor. With the current swing towards more flexible working, she's also established herself as an expert in remote working, contracting, and role sharing, and outplacing and coaching for exiting staff. Welcome, Susie. Thank you for your patience, and I'm so happy that you were able to join so we can have this conversation.
I'm hoping you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh my goodness, hallelujah. Oh, how stressful. Yes, Annika, you're so cool and calm under all that pressure. You're marvelous. I'm less so. So hello, everybody. And I've got no idea what went on there, but we sorted it out in the end.
It's fine. We're here now. That's all.
Yes, exactly. Let's get on before it changes its mind.
Yes. I'm not sure if you did get to see the slides that we just presented. Now, of course, what we are thinking essentially is just the way the market's behaving, right? The fact that we're moving on from a candidate short market, which is what it was in the last few years, to now a jobs-led market, right? Which showcases in the fact that applications are consistently essentially increasing per job. So that is essentially the scene that we wanted to set. Our conversation will be based around that. Now, I want to move on to the questions that we've got ready for you. If you have anything else that you want to share on the back of the slides that I've got, you can talk about them. Otherwise, we can move on to the questions that we've got ready.
We've got a few questions to go through, so let's keep it moving, Annika.
Wow. Lovely. Okay, so of course, you know the reason why you're here is because Russia Rogers won one of the awards that we had from last year when we launched our Sourcr Awards for the first time. So
very special. Exactly. It was so lovely to get that recognition because we all work so hard in the industry sector. It was a complete bolt out of the blue for me. It was wonderful. So thank you, Sourcr.
You are very welcome. So my first question to you is, how does Russia Rogers manage their reputation, and why do you think it's important?
Look, I think if anything, Sourcr has probably helped us make it a whole lot easier to manage our reputation. We just get on and do our job and do it really well. And our business has always been a referral and relationships-based business. So one thing feeds another. And that's been happening for the last 25, 26 sort of years. So gone are the days of, I can't remember the last time I actually did a cold call. I'd be probably so terrible at it. But I've never had to do it. And while I don't want to rest on my laurels, you're only in this business, you're only as good as your last job. And if your last job was really good and you found that unicorn or the perfect job for a candidate, then that will feed itself. And Sourcr has allowed us to do that with transparency. And it's real. It's coming. It's a truth. It's coming from the people that we work with. We partner with candidates and clients. So it doesn't get better than that. It's not as if our mum's telling everybody how good we are. It's actually the people that we work with, sharing, being really willing to share that information. I mean, it's a bit of a hassle. Everyone's busy and they go out of their way to do it. So it has been it has been really good. But it's at the end of the day, there's no mad science behind it. It's just about a lot of hard work.
Yeah, you're right. It is actually about the hard work. And I do appreciate what you said in the sense that it's nice of them to give us that feedback as well. But in that sense, we'll probably touch on that in just a bit as well. But in that sense, the way I look at it is you're probably helping someone make such a big move, because changing a job is probably one of the most stressful things that's up there. But the fact that in the recruitment industry, we have people like yourself that is there to guide the people on, the candidates and the clients, I think that's also something that needs to be celebrated.
Well, you're very kind. But it's all about being passionate about what you want to do and treating people the way you would like to be treated. We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And I know that there are people that slip through the cracks, but we really endeavour, we really try to ensure that everyone gets a fair go.
Great. Okay, so what kind of return on investment do you see from investing in building and managing your reputation, both in time? Sorry.
Yeah, look, that's sort of a no-brainer, really. It's the client and candidate referrals that we're getting via this platform. So, we've used that branding as a part of our own branding, and people are really curious. And it has kudos because it's independent. So it's not necessarily an industry peer-related experience. It's coming straight from the people that we actually work with, and that has real gravitas. And so from a client referral and a candidate referral, I've actually got direct evidence that points towards that really being a major contributing factor to having really good candidates referred to us, and also clients wanting to work with us, which is great. It's been a really buoyant market. So, you'd almost have to be blind Freddy not to be doing well. But, having said that, I've certainly noticed a difference. And we started this when we're all sort of really in lockdown. So it was just like a lifeline, really, to be honest. And it made us realize the importance of that authenticity and commitment to keeping on doing what you're doing and continuing to be passionate about it. So it just really has enhanced and consolidated our reputation that we built over a considerable period of time. And it's also a great internal driver to continue to strive for excellence, because if you get that feedback and that reward, it just makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So given that we were just talking about the market shifts and all of that, what kind of initiatives become more important according to you as the market shifts? So for example, it's to do with marketing, referral, reviews. How would you say that different initiatives become more important as the market shifts?
Look, I think as the market shifts, your reputation, continues to bubble to the surface, so that reputation that you've built for providing a quality and authentic sort of service really comes to the surface in a very crowded marketplace. So using something like a Sourcr platform that just reconfirms that we're all singing or dancing really sends that message of authenticity out to the market in a shifting marketplace. That's really important because it's hard to get recognition to sort of rise to the top when you're competing with so many other peers who are equally as good, I'm sure. This sort of platform and this sort of feedback to the industry is increasingly more and more important as the market continues to shift.
Yes, no, I would completely agree with you. Now, we are just going to talk briefly about the fact that you were a Sourcr Award winner in 2022. So congratulations again. Now, what we want to find out is, how did you leverage this award to strengthen your reputation?
Look, Sourcr were really great in partnering with us, helping us do that with the little badges and the little templates that are set up. But look, we essentially sang it from the rafters. Really, we had it on every platform that we could. We've got it on every ad that we have. because it was something that we were really proud of, actually, to sort of really spruik that recognition that we'd had across Australia, which is just, I'm still blown away by it, to be honest. So look, we just, we had it everywhere on our website, Facebook, LinkedIn, on all of our ads, and Sourcr certainly partnered with us to help make that look the way it should look.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So of course, now that it's, given the fact that you have advertised this everywhere, have you been of grow your business or win new business as a result of our awards?
Yeah, it's certainly been a contributing factor. There is no doubt about that. I've had quite a few people. Our business is mainly referral business, but when we're referred, of course, they're not necessarily just going to go in blindly without doing some research. So what has helped significantly is the fact that we have this award, and we've got this rating against, our many peers in the industry sector. So it's definitely helped us secure that business. There is no doubt about that. And because it has that authenticity, and it comes from people who've experienced our service, either as a candidate or as a client. That's the difference. It's actually real.
Yes, that's right. You've actually already answered my follow-up question, which is basically about how did you use this to attract new talent? So I'm just going to move on to the next one. Now, what kind of steps and processes have you put into place to win again this year?
Look, it's helped us set a minimum standard of service. So it's almost put some parameters around, or some guidelines around, well, look, this is what you can do. Look at this fantastic feedback you can get if you run a robust, quality experience for the candidate and the client. And that, as we all know, includes so many things, so many moving parts. But it's helped us set that minimum standard of service. And it's also, that recognition is a reward in itself for all the hard work that you put in. So it's wonderful almost to have that internal competition with, star ratings and all of that sort of thing, which is fantastic. Yeah. And look, it's all about focusing on doing your job really well and being passionate about what you do, really being committed to that and doing that job in the best way that you can. Things go pear-shaped, as we know. When you're dealing with people, things go, I think just before coming onto this webinar this morning, one of my candidates pulled out of their interview at 11 o'clock this morning. Oh no. It's just one of those things. It happens, but it's all about ensuring that you're communicating everything with the people that you're dealing with, clients, candidates, all the time, so that they know where they stand and being committed to that service. This reward, this rating, this award that we've been given is just the cream on the top. It just sort of means that you're heading in the right direction. You're doing all the right things, because sometimes you don't know when you're just working away at your desk. It's good that people really value all of that hard work and blood, sweat, and tears sometimes.
Of course. No, I'm sure, because I can only... This is just a little personal anecdote, but we are recruiting at this point in time for my team. And the amount, I obviously like recruiters because I work with them, but the level of respect that I have now just from interviewing for it's beyond, I can't even comprehend how people do this job. So well done, respect, and kudos to you. So the next question that I've got, it's for the audience as well. Essentially, what advice do you have for fellow agencies to increase their review conversion?
Look, I think it's all about having that open understanding with your clients and candidates. There's never a better time to ask for a review when you've done a great job. You've found the perfect job for a candidate, or you've found the unicorn for your client. It doesn't get better than that to say, okay, I'm going to send you an independent review. Can you please do that for me? do it. Just leap in. You know, that's the time that you're going to do it. The light does not get greener than that. And, you know, we've got it automated with everything that we do within the platform that we use that just happens to be Job Adder. And it automatically goes out, you know. So, you know, they're constantly sort of coming in. Hopefully all of them are really good. But if it, you know, it keeps us honest, it keeps us focused. So it's all about talking to your clients about it's a full end-to-end sort of service, and you want that information so that you can learn and grow, and that's going to be a part of it. And I always say, look, I'd really appreciate if you could just spend 5 minutes to complete a reference for us, because it really helps us as an organisation to grow. And on the whole, everybody has been more than happy to do that.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really great point, because one of the things that we always say to people is to definitely embed Sourcr into itself, right? Because it's one thing to send off, like you said, you've got automation in place, which means that things will go out, but it needs a follow-up, because we receive emails every single day, right? And like you said, if you have found a candidate a great job and you've found the client a unicorn of a candidate, the least they can do is essentially just take 2 to 5 minutes out of their day to leave a review for you based on the incredible service that you've provided. So I think that's a great tip for the conversion process as well.
Yeah, great. Fantastic.
Cool. So this is the last question that we have. After this, we are going to look at some of the questions from the people that are here in attendance. So what kind of general advice do you have for agencies that are looking to build or strengthen their reputation in this market, which is a jobs-led market?
Look, I think I'll go back to, I'm sort of on repeat, really. It's just focus and do a really good job. You know, care about what you do. Communicate with let them know, your candidates know, if the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to get back to somebody, get back to them. They really remember it. A lot of business that we've got has been through managing candidates through that process. They may not have got the job, they may have been unsuccessful, but they've never forgotten the way that they were treated, and they come back when they can, usually as a client. I cannot tell you how many conversions I have like that. It's all because you gave the time of day to those people, you know, no matter where they were sitting in the priority list. I took one thing away from Greg Savage years and years and years ago, and he said, and he probably can't even remember this, but he said, generally, not to me, always be generous with your time. And I've never, ever forgotten it. You know, it's all about giving people the time of day, because one day you may find yourself in that situation as well.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are generous with your time because you've given this to us as well. So happy to see this. Now, that was the end of the structured questions that we had in place. I do have an audience question that's for you. It's basically about, does Russia Rogers use the Sourcr reviews as a performance management tool for your recruiters?
Look, I think I mentioned that earlier, in that it creates a great environment to inject some competition between participants on how many star ratings that they can get with their review. I think that's really healthy, and I think most consultants will respond really well to that. But look, it gives you a fantastic platform to work from to do exactly that. In whatever guise that you can do. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, because this is one of the things that we've noticed. Obviously, the fact that you do have access to a leaderboard internally. So we want everyone to do it. Agency point of view, of course, but recruiters are competitive. This is what all I know in my limited experience of dealing with them. They're very competitive people. They like to do better than the person that's next to them. And I think it's a wonderful tool, even though we are working towards our agency doing the best, or even individual recruiter awards. Going back to what you said, it is about the service that you provide at the end of the day. And that's what we want to award and recognize with the Sourcr Awards, because these are awards given out based on reviews that you've collected, based on the service that you've provided. So you know what I mean? It's essentially a full circle. And I'm just so happy that you've given us this time to just share your thoughts with us on
My
this.
absolute pleasure. It's been a delight working with Sourcr. It certainly made a big difference to us as an organisation, and it's lovely to get that, to have a platform that allows you to get that direct and genuine feedback back, apart from like Google reviews, which you don't have any control over. This is more specific to the actual work that you do. It's just so much better, and it's transparent and authentic.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. We do have some people that carry on with the Google review side of things, but the way I like to distinguish between the two is, yes, of course, both are public reviews, Google and Sourcr, but Sourcr is directed towards the line of work that you do. As a recruiter, that's the aim, that is what you're going towards. And the other thing is, what I've found from Google reviews is, because anyone has the ability to leave you a Google review, a lot of the times people tend to do that when they're really upset or they're angry. So it's not really a true reflection, essentially, of the service that someone would have provided from a Google point of view. Whereas I think that's the key differentiator in the way our platform works. And that's why I think we've got so many recruiters and agencies that want to utilize the platform.
No, I absolutely agree. I think Google runs the risk of being a little bit toxic or a platform for some vitriol that you have no control over, unfortunately, and that can be really damaging. I noticed there's another question in the side, Jessica, trying to understand the importance of number of reviews compared to quality. Look, Jessica, I honestly can't remember how many we got in that year. I probably should know those stats. I don't. But look, I think it's quality over quantity for me. You know, I think all of us would be of the same mind, really. I'd rather have 10 amazing, reviews. Note, I don't think we've got any 5-star review. I think our rating is 4.9 or something overall, but it's all about the quality, and the authentic. I keep on coming back to that word, authenticity, rather than just getting the numbers out there. So I think quality, I'd fall down on that side. But yeah, sorry, Jessica, I don't have the number. I can actually share that with you offline, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, that's totally fine. Look, the thing is, with all of the, like you said, you don't have a 5-star rating, but in saying that, a lot of people, even though we are so moving towards a reviews-based culture in the entire world, a lot of people actually think that if anyone's got all 5 stars, that's not authentic.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very interesting. The most believable rating that people receive on any type of public sites is essentially anywhere between 4.2 to 4.8. Wow. Because, yeah, so that shows that, because you can't please everyone. Now, I mean, I'm just talking about my Uber rating. My Uber rating is also 4.9, but I think I'm a 5-star customer. So,
I would say
it just really depends. People really do have, a lot of the times I've seen, because obviously we monitor our site all the time, I would read a review text, and reading that particular description, you would think that it would be a 5-star rating, but it usually isn't. It would probably be a 4-star. So that all just plays into the fact that even though we may think in our head that you must have 5 stars only for you to be the top of the top and for people to believe in your credibility and your capability, it's actually not true. Because if you have a rating that's anywhere above 4 stars, so basically I use the range of 4.2 to 4.8 at all times, that is actually the most believable rating that you can have as a recruiter or an agency on any essentially public site.
Good to know.
Well, I mean, I wanted to tell you this because you were like, it's not 5 stars, but I just wanted to tell you that is not a problem whatsoever. So that's essentially it, I think, in terms of the questions themselves from the audience. Look, I just want to thank you again for your time. Sorry about the technical difficulty at the beginning.
I'd hate to think it's probably my end. God, sorry.
No, that's not a problem at all. Thank you so much for your time. We will be circulating this video with everyone else who registered and or attended, and also to the wider audience that couldn't attend today. If you've got any questions for us, post this. So once you watch this, please email us at support@sourcr.com. If you want to find out more about Susie, please go look up Russia Rogers on the Sourcr site and have a look at the great reviews that they've collected. But once again, Susie, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity to participate. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you, Susie. Bye.